Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all keeping well on this. Well, I suppose if you're in England, it's a glorious day. Up here, it's still cloudy. Nice and pleasant, though. At least it's not raining for a change. I'll just bring my earworms in. I've got Steve from SK Crafts.
Hello.
And I've got Mark, the gentleman wood turner, in doing
Howdy.
earworms today. So I'll put you guys back in the background. And what I'm doing today, I'm doing a small vase out of a piece of spalted, and there's a bit of burr in there as well, horse chestnut. And I'm going to colour it, but I'm going to try something different. I was in a hangout with some of the guys last night, and we were talking about this, and we're talking about Yorkshire grit in general. And I thought, well, let's have a go at doing Yorkshire grit and see what happens if I try and colour over the top of it. So that's what we're going to have a go at. Should be interesting, if nothing else.
Well, at least you won't get sacked today.
No, I'm not getting sacked. I might make a complete balls up of what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'll probably not get sacked.
Well, you tried. That's the main thing. Shall we go through the chat? Who's in the chat?
Yeah, go on then, mate.
Right, first off, Colin Roberts. I'm starting to worry about Colin. I reckon he's living on these chats. He's always the first just lately. Christine and Michael Hessetine. Robbo Robson. Mark, the gentleman wood turner. Jay from Jade Wooden Things. Then we had Sid Franklin. Robbo Robson. Keith from Circular Woods. Ellie. Hi, Ellie. Two Meadows Designs. Colin Izzard. Blair from Good Turning Blair. Or Daily Blair, should we say. Then we had Steve from Rubber Dub Wood. Then Lee from Cornish Pixie. Robert Coleman. Mike Lang. Emmett from Dead Rise Wood Turning, or Woodcraft, should I say, sorry. Andy Heath. Doug Miller. Wayne Fennell. Yep, Karen and Rob. Oh, I missed them. Tim Dickinson. Tom. Is that Tom Canada or Tom from Canada? Dark. You got DIY Dark Matters in.
Hey, Doc. Haven't seen Doc for ages.
And I think that's about it at the moment. Oh, Andy Steve. So welcome to all, and thank you very much for coming over.
Hello, everybody.
I just got to pop off for a second, Dyer. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So this piece at the moment is about 5 inches long, about 3 inches diameter. Just getting it rounded off. Now I'll have a look and see which is going to be the top and which is going to be the bottom. Or a bit of inclusion there, so I might make this the top with the shape I'm going to be doing it. Some nice grain in this. It should take some colour very well.
As usual, people, if you have a question for Wayne, if you could start the question with the word question or a few question marks at the beginning so that we don't miss it in the chat, and we'll call it out to Wayne for you.
Matt Harbour's just joined the chat. Welcome, Matt.
Tom
Hey,
Canada is from Georgia. Welcome, Tom.
Canada. Yeah, welcome.
Wayne Fennell is in the chat.
Hi, Wayne.
Dark's got a question for you. Wayne, how do you stay so damn sexy? Mr. Stace, hello. Or Mr. Stacey, hello. How are you?
The answer to that one is good living, good diet, lots of exercise,
And plenty of
And
red
wood,
wine.
and wood
And I-
turning.
and I pretty much lie a lot.
Wood turning makes you sexy.
God, I just choked on a bit of ice.
Right, if I get time to do a lid, I'm doing it out of a piece of ash. I might not get time. My wife's away out for lunch and she's expecting a delivery of something at about 2 o'clock. So I might not get time to do the lid, but I'll turn it down anyway.
Wayne, can I ask a question?
Yep,
What's that on the side of that piece of wood?
I was just going to ask that.
I had this as a practice piece for painting on.
Oh, I see.
So that's just some painting practice that I've got on there. And I use the other side for mixing some two-part epoxy. So that's what that is.
I thought it was some sort of lost modern art piece. What had been lost in the past.
That was that epoxy coming off. Was it gone? Yeah, it's just about gone.
I think Mike Lang has replied to your comment, Mark. He's put, wood turner makes me dusty. Sexy left years ago and never calls anymore.
Yeah. You're only as sexy as you feel.
No.
Only as sexy as your voice.
Well, in that case, I must be irresistible. It ain't working.
Right, I'm going to put this back in later because I've got to put the smaller jaws onto my O'Donnell jaws.
I've never heard shavens called that before, Dark. Had to shovel a load of man glitter off my floor this morning. Man glitter.
Oh, you never heard that before, Steve?
I've never heard sawdust called man glitter before, no.
Oh, right. That's an old one, that is.
He's only a youngster, Wayne.
That's true.
Spring chicken. Well,
I wouldn't
so
go that
spring.
far.
Not so spring nowadays.
Midsummer.
My mind thinks I'm 20. My body's telling me different.
Early summer chicken.
Have they still got snow in Australia, or is Robbo Robson? He said he's got his wellies on.
Wavy Woodshed's just joined.
Andrew, hi. How are you, Andrew?
See, Clever Cloak's here. He's got the list.
They're actually starting to soak in now. The chippings in my head is starting to get moist and something's absorbing.
Right, let's get some shape into this thing.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ellie. Is it man glitter if you're a lady?
Equality and all that.
Yeah, equal rights. Steve Young joined the chat. Hello, Steve. How are you? SK. That's flour water with a touch of ring resin.
Ban him, Steve. Ban him.
Ban him. No, I wouldn't do that to Keith. I wouldn't do that to Keith. He's a nice man.
He is indeed.
Mike Drews has put, my mind says I can do what I did when I was 20. My body's saying, try it. And
Try it and die, fat boy.
yeah. You get bigger mama. Jappy's joined the chat. Hi, Jappy.
Afternoon, Jappy.
I don't know about you guys, but since this lockdown come in, by God, I'll put some weight on. No exercise. I have to take a deep breath now before I do my boots up. Baz has entered the chat. Hi, Baz. Labral.
Bonjour, Baz. We're all well, thank you, Jappy.
I'm melting, Jappy. It's bloody hot. I've got the fan on me and I'm still hot.
Right.
Barry Oakes, join the chat.
Hey, Barry.
BB Turnings just joined.
BB Turner. Oh, that name's not got me. Let's have a look. Shay. Oh. Glyn, you're a bit early. You ain't started with the grit yet.
Hello, Glyn.
Afternoon, Mr. Senior.
Very disappointed with you, Glyn. There was no apology text at 8 o'clock this morning. For anybody in the chat that doesn't know, Glyn Senior is the evil genius behind Yorkshire Grit.
The mad professor.
Owner, inventor, producer, dog's body.
Product staff.
Keeping other people's P5s.
Yeah.
is. I'll move that across a bit.
Pardon me.
Tell you what, I'll change the camera so you can see better what I'm doing.
Here you go.
So what are you
Yeah.
cleaning that out? Wayne, what are you cleaning that out with, mate, please?
I am using the Simon Hope.
Oh, I see, yeah.
You know what?
6.
It's got a little 6mm cupped carbide cutter on the end. Right, are you wanting that picture in any closer?
If you can get it, that'd be nice.
That's the same cutter I was using last night, Steve.
Oh, is it?
He's got it on the bigger flat bar. I've got it on the round 10mm round bar.
Okay. Do you find the flat bar better or?
It's more stable.
Right, okay.
It's a heavier tool, so you can go deeper.
It's got less chance of twisting if it's on a flat bar.
But my round bar does have a flat edge on the underside.
Oh, okay. Chappie's sent a question, Wayne.
Yeah.
If one doesn't have what you're using, obviously the tool you're using, what do you use then?
Well, I was just using the bull gouge. That's what I was using before I started using the carbide. I was just using the bull gouge to hollow out.
You were back hollowing, weren't you?
Yeah, I was also drilling. I was using the spindle gouge to drill, and then using that to hollow out so far down. But the spindle gouge obviously isn't as big as the bull gouge, so the bull gouge tends to be a bit more stable as you're going further down.
Right, okay. Huey's joined the chat. Hi, Hugh.
Afternoon, Huey.
Hope you've got an extension need for your keyboard so you can see the monitor.
I'm just having a bit of difficulty drilling further with it because of the angle of that cut.
Dr. Bob's in the chat. Hello, Dr. Bob.
Hi,
Hey,
Dr.
Bob.
Shay Lenahan has joined as well.
Oh, hello, Shay. Has he been in before? I don't recognise Shay's name. Has he been in before?
Yeah, I think so. David McClernand's just joined. Good afternoon,
Hi, David.
So Colin Robson. Sorry, spit it out. Colin Roberts has asked a question.
Yeah.
Is the chisel available with a handle, or do you need to obviously buy one as well?
You need to buy the handle as well. And it's a
Pete
twist handle. The blue one is 13 mil. The red one, where's the red one? Red one, I think, is 16 mil, 5/8.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And there's a yellow one as well, which is 10 mil. You can buy them. I think you can buy the handles with all three fasteners in there.
Yeah.
He also does handles that have got Allen keys for tightening. This one's a big handle. That's a 3/4 inch bar that's on there with a high-speed steel cutter on the end.
Simon Hope handles are gorgeous. They're a real piece of work.
I think his handles come with all three ends, though, don't they?
I'm sure they do.
You can configure the handles however you want.
Yeah, because I think when I was looking the other week at them, you buy the handle and you get the yellow, blue, and red top, and then you just buy whatever gouge you want to suit, obviously, what you
and
want.
You can also buy the handles in the 3 lengths. You can buy the short, the medium, and the long.
Yeah. Pete from Twisted Trees has joined.
Hey, Pete. How we're doing? I think that'll do for a demo piece.
You see what Pete's put, Mark. Hi, Robert, Doug, Steve. To be honest, Colin, I don't think the Simon Hope chisels are that expensive, because if you bought a decent Crown or a Sorby one, you'd be looking around about the £100 mark anyway. So really, they're not that much more expensive, are they?
Yeah,
and they're more versatile.
Yeah.
Plus, you can buy them double-ended.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, who's that joined? Oh, look, Nikki Cavell. Stalking me, she is.
Hello, Nikki.
Hiya, Nikki.
We're gonna make it our mission to get Nikki earworm in for other turners as well.
Man Woody's creation has joined. Hi, Martin. Or Martin, should I say?
Now, what I am going to do is just make a quick parting cut at the bottom.
Question from Glenn, Wayne.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Are you colouring? And if so, are you looking forward to retirement?
He can't remember the conversation we had last night, can he?
No, he can't. Told you last night what I was doing, Glenn.
And you was just too rat-assed.
With these Simon Hope handles, you don't have to use just Simon Hope tools. You can, any tool that will fit those diameters, you could put in those handles. So the handles become very, very versatile, and then they make themselves well worth the price that you pay for them.
Yeah, definitely. Because nearly all major manufacturers make just the blades, don't they?
Yeah.
So
you can buy Sorby. You can buy Sorby or Axminster unhandled gouges. Crown, yeah. Well, Simon Hope uses Crown.
Oh, does he?
His double-ended gouges are Crown cryos.
So, Mark... Oh, sorry, go on, Mark.
No, go on, I was finished.
Matt Harbour's asked a question.
Yeah.
How are you serving the feed? Do you go straight from camera to YouTube? Are you using something like Zoom or OBS? Blah blah blah.
Right. I'm running the cameras on OBS, but I've got OBS linked by virtual cam into StreamYard, and it's StreamYard that is allowing me to have the earworms.
There is a delay. It's about 15 or 20 seconds. Yeah, 15 or 20 seconds between the comment coming up on YouTube and the comment coming up on our screens on StreamYard. So if we're taking a bit of time to get to your comments, it's only because of the stream delay.
So this is Yorkshire grit I'm using. So I've got it well rubbed in. Turn the speed down to about 250 if your lathe will go that low. If your lathe won't go that low, run it at the lowest speed you can. And I know some of you out there will probably have Reeves drive or even manual change. So run it at the speed you can. Now I'm using the piece of paper that I applied the Yorkshire grit with, and I'm just going to rub this in. And I'm just going to spend a bit of time to do this, just to make sure that the abrasive works properly. So Yorkshire grit's made up of beeswax, mineral oil, and rotten stone, and it's the rotten stone that's the abrasive. So as you work it in, the rotten stone breaks down. So I sanded to 240. So the Yorkshire grit's been applied at 240, and by the time I've finished with the Yorkshire grit, it should be the equivalent grit of around about 1,000. Now, one of the main reasons for using Yorkshire grit is that, as you can see, I don't have my dust extractor on. I don't have a respirator on. I'm not producing any dust. So Yorkshire grit is like a liquid abrasive. So that's been rubbed in for a couple of minutes using the same piece of paper. I'm going to get a clean piece now. I've put that up to about 650. And I'm still carrying on working it in.
I've just got to answer a question Colin's asked. Yes, Colin, they do fit, mate.
Baz has also answered a good question. Normally, obviously, if we do a natural looking piece, we sand and seal, then add the Yorkshire grit. So obviously Baz has asked, do you use sand and sealer before Yorkshire grit? Normally, if you use a natural piece, yes. But because Wayne's going to be colouring it, if he sands and seals it, the colours won't soak into the wood.
I have actually sealed it, Steve.
Sorry?
I have sealed it.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. This is a total experiment, this is.
Right, okay.
So the sealer's going to act like a primer, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm using stain. I'm not using paint.
Oh, right, okay.
Right. Okay. Paper's come away clean. Now, there might still be some residue there. There's going to be the residue of the sand and sealer, obviously, because that soaks into the wood. And there's going to be the residue, obviously, of the grit. So what I'm going to do is clean off that residue using meths.
Andy C's asked a good question as well. Can you use Yorkshire grit microfine instead of burnishing cream? Yes, you can. That's what I use on all my resin pieces, microfine.
Yep. It's perfect for that.
It absolutely brings a mirror finish on it. Mirror finish.
DIY's asking, how many coats of sanding sealer before the finish to get best results?
I usually just put one on. One coat of either acrylic or cellulose sanding sealer, or whichever sanding sealer you prefer using. It doesn't have to be acrylic or cellulose. It can be, I always forget the name. No, it's gone.
Mylands.
Well, nah, it's gone. Forget it.
In wax.
No, it's gone. Leave it. Right. So what I'm using, first off, I'm going to put a coat of black. I'm using Hampshire Sheen Intrinsic Colours, and I'm using an airbrush to put it on. I'll just put my palette up there.
Jappy's asking, how is the Hamlet bowl gouge?
The Hamlet bowl gouge.
Never heard of Hamlet.
Hamlet, have you got? Can make a lot of tools. Hamlet, very similar to other bowl gouges. A lot of bowl gouges tend to be produced using M2 high-speed steel. The Crown Cryo ones, I think the M42 high-speed steel, which is harder. And then once you get onto the Doug Thompson ones from over in the States, he uses a different type of steel as well. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm putting the base coat of the black on, and what I'll do, I'll let that dry, but I'll actually knock it back. And what's going to happen is that some of the black will stay in parts of the grain, and some of it will get sanded away. At least that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Just use my hot air gun. If ever you're going to use a hot air gun, make sure you start it without pointing at the piece. Otherwise, you'll blow dust all over it.
Colin Roberts is asking, are you going to leave the foot on or are you taking it off?
Oh, that'll be coming off. Now, some of this, some of this hasn't actually gone into the wood. But like I say, this is an experiment. Like here, you can see that all the black stain's actually gone right into the wood. Here, it's just sitting on top. And down at the bottom here, it's just sitting on top as well. I'm not that concerned about that. Like I said, it's an experiment. We're just trying something different.
And you're going to knock it back as well, aren't you? So
I'm going to knock it back as well.
Do you think with the heat, the beeswax is going to sort of come out of the grain and push the colour out?
All gone. It's all gone. I've wiped all that away with the mess.
Right, okay.
Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a piece of 400 grit just to knock that back. Turn the speed down a wee bit. And get rid of the majority of the black on this. And I think what you'll find is that a lot of it, where's my inertia sander? It was on here somewhere.
That's because you tidied up, you can't find it.
No, I haven't tidied up over this side yet. That's one. Is that it? Clean off.
It's strange has hardly touched that band around the middle there.
Yeah. But you can see how it's gone into some of the green. I'll put the overhead back on. There's my mouse.
Mr. Stacey's having to leave. See you later, Mr. Stacey.
See you later, sir. Thank you for coming over.
But you can see how in some of the green, the black's gone right in there. I still want to take some more of that black off, so I'll just clean my pad off again.
Mike from Midnight Jokers joined the chat. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hello, Mike. Hi, Lee, by the way. Sorry, I didn't say hello earlier.
Who's ignoring you, Lee? That's what it was.
Yeah, he told me he was going to do that, Lee.
Fuckers. Seriously, guys, don't do stuff like that, because I'm scared of her.
Oh, who we got here? Look, Red Eye Dave. Afternoon, sir. How are you? He's just joined the chat. Damo's just come over as well. Morning, Damo.
G'day, Damo. Rude. Rude.
Some person called Nikki Cavell's got a question, Wayne.
Yeah.
How long have you been wood turning?
30. God, what were we on? 2020? 34 years nearly. Started wood turning in 1986 as I was leaving the army.
Wayne, Barry's got a question for you.
Yeah.
Why do some woodturners use handfuls of shavings on the piece?
Because that was the traditional way of buffing a piece up.
Yeah. I've seen some. Sorry,
burnishing as well, isn't it?
Burnishing. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Burnishing.
I've also seen people use them to dry off the sand and sealer as well.
Yeah. Right. As you can see now, well, you can't see it very well in this light, but some of the black has stayed in some of the green. So it's gone, so obviously it's gone a grey type colour, but that'll, you'll be able to see that more pronounced once I put the next colour on. And the next colour I'm going to put on is again from the Hampshire Sheen intrinsic colour range, and it's stone blue, which is
I love that colour.
A lighter shade of blue than the royal blue or the midnight blue.
So have the colours been renamed then?
I'm not sure.
Because my light blue, the one you have, is called sky blue.
Yeah, in which case, yes, they have been renamed.
Right, okay.
Let that dry. Use a hot air gun again. It doesn't actually take these stains long to dry anyway.
Wayne, Cornish Pixie says,
yeah,
he's like the godfather of turning. So knowledgeable. Who needs Google when we have a Wayne?
It's all about the word. It's all about the word.
You went very Gino de Campo then.
Campo? What are you calling Campo?
Hey, the
that
cat
should have
fits. Campo,
been gloss lacquer. What am I looking for?
I think we worked out that Steve was Clegg. You
Who?
were Compo. You're Cleggy.
Oh, was that after I left?
Wayne, yeah, Wayne's Compo.
Right, what I'm using now is Chestnut Products cellulose sand and sealer. Now I've got a rule of thumb when I'm using wood stains. If I'm using water-based wood stains, which these are, the intrinsic colour ones are water-based wood stains, I use a cellulose sand and sealer. If I'm using spirit-based wood stains, like the chestnut, they are spirit-based stains, I will use an acrylic sand and sealer. If you use them the other way, if you use cellulose with spirit stains, chances are the colour's going to run. And the same with acrylic sand and sealer and water-based stains, the colour's probably going to run. So I'm using I'm not using this tin, that's for certain.
Damo, the other voice is Steve from SK Kraus.
Oh, I just see a question.
Steve Ash is asking, does that make me foggy? Probably. You saw my workshop last night after I finished the hangout. Couldn't see across it. All the vaping.
We couldn't see him in the hangout. All there was just a mist across the screen.
And for those of you that were in my live last night and watched the car crash that was my piece, straight after the live, I returned it completely, refinished it, and turned it into something totally different.
Ashtray.
Yep.
That was all right. You don't want to knock yourself for it, mate. That was all right.
I wasn't happy with it at all.
No, but like we said last night, you should have just stopped, took a breath, and then carried on.
Yeah. I realise that now.
Nobody's going to think any less of you for it, to be honest.
Quite a few coats of sealer with this.
Wayne,
The sand and sealer, as you can see, if you watch there, it is just so. Yeah.
You can see it soaking in.
Yeah.
DIY Dark Matter. Do you use Wi-Fi or hardwire from the router?
I've got this hardwired. I bought I bought 40 meters of cable. Put the cable up through the attic, out through the wall, and across into the workshop. Because my workshop it's only about 10-15 feet from the house, my workshop. I used to do Wi-Fi out here, Doc, but I think you will remember I used to get loads and loads of problems.
Your camera's gone off focus a bit, mate. Do you want to change cameras?
Yeah, can do.
Maybe go to an end view.
I'll just go onto the side one again.
That's a bit better.
I think it's a little bit glitchy.
Has Jane turned her computer on?
No, Jane's out for lunch.
A lot of people on the net at this time of day.
About on the computer.
He's checking out doggy websites. Well,
Steve, yeah, that's it. Checking out doggy websites. I only guess my internet speed at the best of times is around about 5. That's my internet speed.
Oh, right, okay. That's understandable then.
That's 5 hamsters per megabit.
Yeah. Right, this is going to take a fair amount of time to dry, or it's going to take quite a few coats of sand and sealer, I should say. I don't want to use the hot air gun on it, because it'll just... I usually go too heavy and start blistering everything.
It's all right, you're good for time.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, but I've got this delivery coming as well.
It's 1:45, mate. You've got plenty of time.
So we'll just let that spin there for a few before I put another coat on. I'd like to get it all shined up.
So there's a question Wayne, from Shane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Shay, should I say? Is there other ways of applying colour other than an airbrush?
Oh yes, I mean the intrinsic colour range just comes in bottles. This is the bottles that they come in. but you can get spray tops for them. You can just apply it with kitchen roll, kitchen paper, which is what Martin does all the time. Martin rarely uses airbrushes when he's doing it. As you see, the chestnut spirit stains. Now, these are the tester pots that I've got the chestnut spirit stains. They're just little pots. You just use paper towel to put them on. You don't have to use an airbrush. I find obviously you get a more even coverage using an airbrush.
I think if you want to blend the colours, you're better off with tissue, aren't you? To be honest, you get a better fading in colours.
Yes. Yeah.
Just a couple of people joined the chat.
Yeah.
Paul Smith just joined the chat.
First time here.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
And Dale's just joined the chat from Maple Tree Studios.
Good
Hey,
afternoon, Dale. How are you, my darling?
Oh, darling.
I can't remember that. I can't remember if Paul's down in sort of Surrey, Sussex, Kent area.
Oh, and Steve Ash joined a little while ago.
And Tommy Dunn's just joined.
Hello, Tommy.
Hey, Steve.
You just got
Tommy.
got a super chat from Dale to help refill your wine cellar.
Oh, cheers, Dale. God, I wish.
I've got to pop
My
off for a
wine
second,
cellar's
guys.
called Tesco's, and they still bloody charge us, even though it's mine. Yeah, okay.
Somebody's just knocked at the door. Hold on.
That's Wayne's delivery.
Yeah, what's it doing down there? Right, I'm going to start putting some lacquer on now. I'll probably just put a couple of coats of lacquer on. Just to see how it goes. If it starts soaking in the way it has, I am going to sort of end the show here. This will end up with about 10 coats of lacquer on. What I'll do is I'll apply 3 or 4 coats. With this particular lacquer, I can apply another coat after 20 minutes. So I'll apply 3 or 4 coats, let that dry thoroughly, knock it back with some Scotch-Brite, then apply another 3 or 4, do the same thing again, and then after the final lot of coats has gone on, so this is going to take at least 24 hours to do. Once probably 48 hours till I get to the finish. Once I've got the final coats of lacquer on, what I'll do then is knock it back with some Yorkshire Grit Microfine and probably finish it off with some either Wood Wax 22 or microcrystalline wax. But just to let you see how it's looking at the moment, I'll take it off the lathe.
Just quickly, Wayne, you've got a super chat from Pete from Twisted Trees for £2, just because.
Cheers, Pete. Let's. I'll put it back onto the main camera. That's it. Take this chuck off carefully.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
It's all right. Paul Smith is from Kent.
I thought he was from that sort of area. And there it is, guys.
That's
Just
nice.
a nice vase. It's probably going to end up about 4.5 inches tall by 3 inch in diameter.
It's very pretty.
And like you said, you can see the mottled effect on it with the black underneath the blue.
Yeah, and you can still see some of the grain coming through as well, which is the effect I was after. But the main reason for doing this was because of the chat last night in the hangout, talking about Yorkshire Grit. And basically I said, I bet I can colour over the top of Yorkshire Grit. And I've just proved it. I can. So if anybody says you can't do that, don't believe them. Now, I haven't tried doing it without using the methylated spirits or denatured alcohol, as the Americans call it. I haven't tried doing it without using that. I might save that for another day and see how that works out. But certainly using methylated spirits just to give the wood a clean after using Yorkshire Grit, you can colour.
Cool.
Somebody made a comment about my shirt there.
Yeah, dark.
Nice one, Doc. Thanks, Robert. Thanks,
Some lovely
Jay.
comments.
Yeah, some good comments.
Right, guys, I'm afraid it is an early one. Usually I last about an hour, just over the hour. But it is an early one because I haven't got to go and wait for the delivery man. Jane's having, I don't know, something delivered, obviously. Been spending bloody money again.
All right, Ebenezer.
You know, Jane in the post. Jane gets deliveries every day.
Oh,
Every
that's terrible.
day.
That's terrible.
Glenn's asking you to hold the vase up again, please, mate.
There you go, Glenn. It's just had one coat of right after the colouring. It's had one coat. Oh, it's had about 2 coats of sand and sealer, and it's just had the first coat of lacquer on there. It'll end up getting about 10 coats of lacquer. And I did use Yorkshire Grit, Glenn, and I have coloured over the top of it.
As we spoke about last night, that you perhaps can't remember.
Hey, at least he didn't fall asleep on the sofa again.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, every day Jane gets deliveries of beads. Every day. I haven't seen her make anything for months. She just keeps on getting deliveries and beads and writing down what she's got. Anyway,
She's
that's
stock taking, stock accumulation.
Well, I mean, the amount of beads she's got, there must be 5 grand's worth of beads that she's actually got there.
But yeah.
Bloody hell.
Easily. I mean, Glenn's seen, and Dale as well. Dale's seen Jane's set up her workbench in the living room. Anyway, guys, that's by the by. Thanks everybody for coming along. I hope you enjoyed it. From the comments, it looks like you did.
Yeah, some good comments.
I'll finish now. I will be back on. What are we on? Are we on Monday? No, we're on Friday, aren't we?
Monday lunchtime.
Yeah, I'll be back on Monday lunchtime where we'll be doing something else. So I just thought about this last night, so God knows what I'm going to be doing on Monday. Right, guys, I'm ending the broadcast there, and I am pressing the button now.
Take care, guys.